Good afternoon. Today is the 18th of September and here we are at Gilks Garage Cafe, which is at Kyneton in Warwickshire. So this is the Lloyd Consulting Midland social event. We'll get to actually the cars that have come here for the social event in a second, but just found this Honda Goldwing. I don't think I've ever actually had a chance to look really close up at one of these before. So much stuff on these things. It's like a sort of car. It's got volume control, so for stereo. It's got air pressure control. I think actually this even has a reverse gear. It's cruise control. Extraordinary thing. Don't know if that plate is actually age related. It could be just a personal one actually. But we'll go with sort of at the back. Gilks Garage is actually quite a busy place and the parking's a little bit limited here, so one of the reasons why we didn't actually openly reveal where the event was happening was because the parking is a bit restricted. So there's actually a couple of cars that you would have seen on the channel here before. This is one we've just filmed. This is a 2009 Fiat 500 1.2 Lounge. This is actually owned by Genevieve, who also had it recently featured on the Walls Wheels channel. I don't know when we'll get around to that, but that'll be on second-hand reviews. It's quite fun actually. That it's a customised one. There's lots of kind of little things that have been changed from standard on it. I quite enjoyed it. But the exhaust is nice and fruity as well. This is a car that was on the channel last year. It's a 2020 MG ZS 1 litre exclusive automatic. It's owned by Stephen and Bev. So you can see it's got the correct sticker on it, of course, until we actually start selling Lloyd Vehicle Consulting channel stickers, which we will at some point. This is a Battersea Blue, I think the colour is, and they're very good. I prefer the manual ones of these, but the automatics are also very good. There is a walk around that I'll put a link to in the description below. Then we have one of Mr. Coleman's cars, of course, Rubbish Mechanic. His second Alpha 166. We have this on Untitled Second-Hand Classics earlier this year. It's 2 litre twin spark facelift with a 6-speed manual gearbox, and it's almost got a beige leather interior. I think this is I think they call it Oyster, although I think he's going to change it at some point. Knowing, of course, it's Mr. Coleman's car, of course, the wheels and tyres and brakes are in perfect condition, and the bodywork's all been sort of polished into its life, so it looks fantastic. This is a 1986 Porsche 924S. I was quite excited when I heard this was coming, because I don't really know much about these other than the fact that they were in the first episode of Wheeler Dealers Ever Made, which was in 2003. It's a long time ago. But yes, a gentleman by the name of David has brought this along, which I don't know, maybe we'll have a look at this in a separate video, I'm not sure. Justin is here, the man who knows far more about 406 coupes than I do. The one that you would have seen on the channel on Sensible Second-Hand Classics, and also the previous social event we had near Southampton, was a blue one of these. Same year, 2001. This is what's called a D9 version. Local plate, bizarrely, to where we were earlier, sort of Southampton/Portsmouth plate on this. I always say Southampton/Portsmouth because the earlier days of registration, Southampton and Portsmouth had separate offices, but they were combined at this sort of stage into Portsmouth, but the cars often came from Southampton. It's called, they call them a banana in 406 coupe circles, I believe. Full leather interior, V6 engine, manual gearbox. Quite a desirable car now, so I gather. And here is the 2010 Honda Accord 2.4 automatic estate that we had on Sensible Second-Hand Reviews. Probably, I think it was last month. It was owned by Richard. really quite want to have one of these at some point in my life. Obviously, again, the requisite stickers from a certain Welsh-based YouTube channel. He's actually got 3 stickers from that, and a few was driving one. But we approve of that sort of thing, viewers. Of course we do. And yes, it's got a beige leather interior, which I do very, very, very much like. I do like a beige leather interior and a normal handbrake. Fantastic. Planet Auto channel should be coming along at some point. They seem to have been held up slightly, so maybe we'll have a look at what they've turned up in a little bit later. So viewers, there's a couple of things I do need to make you aware of. This is in addition to having had a look round what we're doing here. Unfortunately, I have just spoken to Planet Auto and they're not able to make it, because it was a shame, because I was looking forward to seeing the car that they've been borrowing for the week from Honda, actually, I believe. I'm sure you'll see that at some point on my channel. Justin very kindly let me sit inside his 406 Coupe, the banana was what he calls it, and I think I've told some of you about this before, but we are having another channel social event next month, which will be actually in the Lake District. Planet Auto have very kindly been liaising with the Lakeland Motor Museum about this. I think it's near Ulverston. You would have seen that possibly on the In Seabrooks channel a couple of years ago. That's going to be on Saturday the 9th of October. I will let you know a little bit later on exactly what time we're going to be starting. Probably around the same time as here, about 11 o'clock in the morning. You do not need to register for the social event at Lakeland Motor Museum on 9th October. It's not necessary to do that. They've got much more parking than actually the other venues that we've had. Catering might be a little bit of a problem, so I'm just going to see if I can gauge some interest in that before we actually say for definite that you know, not everyone needs to sort of give any indication of the numbers, just so the museum has some kind of idea about the catering. The parking's not a problem, unlike actually here and at the place where we had the last social event at Cadnam. So there we are, viewers. I do hope you've had a good time just having a look at this little event we've been having in the Midlands. I do recommend coming to Gilks Garage if you've never been here. This place has actually been within the family for a long time. It used to be a Roots dealership, actually, so if you go inside you can sort of see posters of old Hillmans and things like the Chrysler Avenger and you know, singers and stuff like that, which is fascinating. So, you know, I recommend thoroughly coming here, particularly if you're in the area of the British Motor Museum. That's very close to here. It's in Gaydon. It's a few minutes down the road from here. And yes, we'll be actually having a video from the British Motor Museum tomorrow. There's a very special event that I'm attending, so we'll be having a bit of a longer, slightly shambolic shuffle. But thank you ever so much indeed anyway for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to like this video and to leave a comment below. Thank you to everybody who's attended today. We will be having, in addition to the one in the northwest at the Lakeland Motor Museum, we do intend to have more events, possibly one in the east of the country, possibly one in the southwest, and we might even go to sort of, I don't know, more of a, near where London is, also to have another one if that's what you'd be interested in doing. Anyway, yeah, subscribe to the channel for more videos, more slightly shambolic shuffles, and thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.